Welcome to another tips for building video. This one is going to be about street details, how to make a street look more vivid, look more detailed. Now let's assume you build a street and you put a few houses on its side. Now what can you do in order to make the street and the whole scenery look better? Now there are few things you can do, and total I'm going to concentrate on 4 of them. And I'm going to show you some before and after pictures in the end to show you how much of an impact it can make. Let's start with the first one, which is to place some crates and chests. Now of course this will be most efficient, or it would be most logical, if you for example have such a roof construction to the outside of a house, so that you have like a small roof to like a small shed or whatever around the house. So for the crates, this is something that you can do if you are using World Edit, or you have the possibility of using World Edit. Now I'm just gonna place down a few random blocks, and then I'm gonna mark them, like I'm gonna select them in World Edit, and then I'm gonna go replace with piston 6, and that turns it into a piston with the top side of a piston showing to all sides. So that makes it look a little bit like it's crates. Now what I like to do about these things is to place a few signs around it, simply to make it look like that's a crate that has like a reinforcing bounding around it. And then what you can do is, well, let's leave this away, but let's place a chest here, for example, so that you can see that it's not just one type of block being placed there, but at least a chest, maybe even one here. I don't know, maybe let's make it face to the other direction, so it's not exactly the same like it is on the left side. So this is one possibility. Now the next one is pretty much the same, but it makes most sense to do this if there's, or as long as there's a stable around. So, or like at least a watering place for horses or stuff. So what you can do is to simply take hay and make a few haystacks here, like that. A few more. Pay attention, as you can see, I'm placing this here, these stone walls are turning, or they're connecting up with the hay, which is not an effect that you want to have. Either have it a little bit broader, so that, for example, the supporting elements here start one block outside, so that you can place it without them connecting to the hay. Or if it's just, in this case, this isn't too dramatic, because it's not like, you see the stone walls turn into something else, like they get this kind of addition here. But since this is going straight up here, that's not going to be a problem at this point. So this is the second possibility. The third one is a little bit more complex, or it takes a little more effort. It is simply to try and make the road level itself a kind of, well, changing layers. So what I'm going to do is to remain, or to keep the kind of road structure I have here, but I'm simply going to go down one block, or maybe even 1.5. I'm gonna see for the step that's going down. Let's see. I think, yeah, I'm gonna do it like this, so that I have approximately 2 or 3 blocks here, and then I'm gonna simply go on here and place it like this. I'm gonna continue it this way, and I think I'm gonna do it up until, well, pretty much up until we reach this this corner here. It's gonna be like that. Also here and here, like that. Yeah, ought to be enough. Now let's do it a little bit further. Looks weird this way. Let's just go ahead and do it like this. Like this. Yep, just gonna do it like that, and let's go down like that. Simply what you achieve while doing that is to take out a little bit of the well, straightness, is that a word? The straightness of the road. And what I'm gonna do here on the side, since this is looking kind of weird, I'm gonna take stone brick slabs instead of the regular smooth stone blocks. Just gonna place them here to make the transition to the surrounding blocks not so strict or straight, like not to have a block raise to the upper side. Now I'm gonna take a look. Yep. Yeah, I like that. What you also could do is, of course, pay attention that you don't get these kind of things where you can see have another block beneath the building material. What you could also do is to just go down this one block. One block is totally enough. It makes a huge impact on the look of the street. But take, for example, this building here, and don't make the entrance to the building here, but on this side and one block lower to the ground. This way you save a lot of space inside the house, because you can make the floor one block lower than it would usually be, so you have one block more to play on or to play with on the inside. And at the same time, it kind of looks nice if you have, for example, the entrance here. Like imagine let's just take a door. Imagine it be like this, or let's do it like that. And this way you can actually see that the surrounding houses were built with the intention of having, or like they planned that the ground was lower here. I hope I'm making sense here. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Now, the fourth thing is something that you can use in order to make not only the street look more vivid, but also to, well, eradicate problems or mistakes that you made. Namely, if you build something and you aren't really happy about the way it turned out. Like, let's just assume that I'm not happy with the way the front of this building looks. I'm simply going to take some leaves, don't take too many, and just, you know, go up on the side of the house and just place a few leaves here. As you can see, I'm using two different kinds of leaves, which, well, depending on whether or not you're using a texture pack and if the colors are too different from one another, it could look bad. On default textures, I think it's really nice to use birch and oak leaves within the same thing. As you can see, there's not too much of a difference between them, but a little tiny bit. And this little tiny bit can help a lot. Let's just place a little here, like that. And, well, a few here, maybe one here, and two here. And let's go a little bit more on this side. As you can see, I'm not placing too many leaves around here. So don't make it too thick, don't make it too straight up, and whatever you do, don't just don't just do it like this in a diagonal line, or like this, so that you always just use the two blocks, and then you change it each layer. So this looks weird, just as well as if you were to do it like this. So always try and find a good balance. Try and make one stick out to the outside more than the others, and one go to this side, maybe one here. This looks better, but not good either. Let's do it like that, and one which is kind of almost on the street, like that. Alright. Also, one thing, of course, connected to greenery is to use grass, but don't make the mistake to cover every single grass block with tall grass. Just do it on a few places. Like, it looks weird if you have every single grass block here covered with tall grass. It's just too much. Aside from if you maybe want to have it really as a wild garden that nobody's taking care of, for example, then put in some double tall grass here and a few pieces of the regular tall grass, and then you'll be fine. But regularly, if it's a normal garden, I wouldn't recommend using too much of the grass, like a little bit like that. Just the same as it's for the rest. For example, here this one tall grass is totally enough. Alright, I think we're pretty much done. Let's make 2 here. And now I'm going to show you the total effects. Like, I'm going to compare the old street with this new one. This is obviously before. And this is what it looks afterwards. So as you can see, the image, or well, the general impression you get of the street changed a lot. Even by just spending like 5 minutes, not even, on these kind of different changes. Of course, there are going to be a few people, or there's just going to be many people who don't like one of these kind of, well, changing factors. Maybe you don't want to place hay on your streets because you don't think it makes too much sense at the point where you're placing it. Maybe you don't like the putting down so much greenery. That's totally fine. As long as you use one of these, or maybe even other ones, there are tons of possibilities to do that, that's gonna be fine. And that's also something that I would ask of you. Please post in the comments if you have any other cool ways to make a street look more vivid, a kind of detail that I didn't cover here. And if there are enough of these, maybe I'm gonna make a second video about the same topic with tips from exclusively the community, so that we can kind of improve each other, which would be cool. So yeah, as you can see, in my opinion, this street looks now a lot more vivid and a lot more varied than it did before, and I think that's, well, pretty much enough for this video. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and as always, please rate, comment, subscribe, join the crew, become a mate today, those who will not. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.